If you know me well enough, you'd know that I really don't care for pinball all that much. But on the flip side to that coin, you'd also know that I love Pokemon. So when I started this game up, my outlook was an even 50-50. I didn't waste any time in the menu with this one, I just jumped right in. So there's two boards to choose from, Ruby and Sapphire. I picked Sapphire first since it was the one I first owned back during that Pokemon generation. The two boards are basically the same outside of some cosmetic features. Almost immediately, I was hooked. As soon as I caught my first Pokemon, I needed to catch more. I think the developers must have known that the concept of catching Pokemon would easily translate into a pinball game. And kudos to whoever decided to push the idea forward. A huge part of what makes this game great is that anyone can jump in and play. There's hardly any kind of learning curve at all. The addictive concept of collecting Pokemon keeps you coming back for more, and with each play, you add to your Pokédex. So if you catch one or even a few Pokemon in one playthrough and then get a game over, that's alright, because you've still made progress. The more time you put into this, the more pages you fill out in your decks. And with the Pokédex being the focal point, you're of course able to go check it out and read some of the entries for each Pokemon caught, which is really cool and adds a lot of depth not normally seen in a pinball game. And I should talk about the fact that there's more than one way to get Pokemon in this game. The first way is the most basic. You hit the ball into the correct area when prompted, which starts a mini-game where you hit the bumpers to unlock a Pokemon. You then hit that Pokemon 3 times to capture it. The next way is to hatch eggs. Once you've hit the egg hatching trigger enough times, a Pokemon will pop out and start to walk around. You'll have to hit it twice to capture it. And the final way, also the most difficult, is evolving. To evolve a Pokemon, you have to first hit the ball into the right slot when prompted, then you must hit 3 EX icons randomly placed around the table. This is where things get tedious, at least for me anyway. I'm terrible at hitting skill shots, which is probably where my dislike of pinball comes from. Dislike it or not though, I could not put this game down. It was that addictive. Could it have been because of the implementation of Pokemon? Possibly. It was a similar thing for me when Pokemon Shuffle came out. For years I couldn't stand games like Candy Crush and the like, but slap a familiar code on it and you've got my attention. Puzzle & Dragons 2 was able to pull me in when they made the Super Mario Bros. Edition. These marketing people know what they're doing, guys. But this game has a lot more to offer other than just the fact that it's a Pokemon game. This game stands on its own merits. For starters, it handles great. You use the A button and the left D-pad button as the triggers, and the L and R buttons on your GBA act as the tilt mechanism, all of which are super tight and precise. You can, of course, change the button settings in the option menu if you choose. Some people may want to use L and R as the triggers, and this game gives you that option if you want to do that. The music is outstanding. You definitely get that Pokemon vibe, and a lot of it is derived straight from the Ruby and Sapphire games, which had amazing soundtracks, so you get that same relaxing, tropical feel. Just like any pinball game, you've got a bunch of unique functions specific to the tables. Outside of the Pokemon catching and hatching, there's 2 ball saving mechanics, each with great animations. One with Latios or Latias, depending on which table you're playing with, for the center ball shoot, and one with Pikachu for the side ball shoots. Under certain conditions, aka the slot game, a Pichu will appear, filling both side shoots. There's a ton of mini-games, most of which I failed at miserably, but had a lot of fun with regardless. I really liked the Kecleon minigame, where you had to hit the spot he was hiding to knock him out. And then there's the slot games, which could score you neat stuff like extra ball saves, points, point multipliers, and coins for the Pokemart. Pokemon honestly never ceases to amaze me with its ability to have big success with just about all of its spin-offs. Most other franchises can't say the same. I don't know if it's the fact that monster collecting is just so easily implemented into any genre, or if the dev guys over at Pokemon just know how to handle a great IP with the utmost care. But I had a lot of fun with this game, and I think anyone would. Whether you're a pinball fan or a Pokemon fan, or even if you just want to play a simple and relaxing game. I mean, the game has great graphics, it's very colorful, it has great music, just like all the Pokemon games tend to have, and it plays very well and is easy to just pick up and have fun. I'd recommend this game to anyone, and I guarantee you'll have a blast.